Boom. All right, 16-3. We're going to combine both videos today, get them out of the way for you guys, go over some warm-up pieces and then strategy for the overall workout. So we actually got two different warm-ups set up for this one, and it really largely depends upon how you're going to do, what you're going to do in this workout. If you're somebody who's going to be going the scale route, or if you're somebody who's going to be going the RX route or attempting the bar muscle up piece in the RX route. So warm-up group A, we're going to say that you guys have no bar muscle ups, so you're going to be going scaled or maybe very, very little. So what I mean by that is you could do one, maybe a little bit of time before the next one, but you're not going to be just shuffling through these things, you know, one after another. So what you want to think about is very similar to what we've done the last couple of weeks. A very good long aerobic warm-up just to kind of get the heart rate up, breathing rate up, good circulation, a light sweat going. Same style of dynamic stretching. What we want to focus on here, again, here we are hanging from the pull-up rig once again, third week in a row. So you want to think about really opening up that shoulder, good shoulder flexion, thoracic spine extension, because you want to get into a really good position if you're going for that bar muscle up, and even that jumping chest and bar pull up. You want to be able to almost, I hesitate to say it, but I'm going to, that overextension just a little bit to help get your chest up to that bar. If you're going for that bar muscle up, you really want to be able to pull low, so open up that T-spine. So focus on that stuff. So if you need to go back and look at the previous week's videos, do that. There's some good stuff in there. A little bit of just general weightlifting stuff. You're power snatching today, so warm up a light power snatch. Doesn't need to be anything crazy intense. And just some general light gymnastics based stuff. So anything body weight. Don't kill yourself on this. Just make sure that you get nice and warm, good circulation. For you guys, this is just going to be a nice kind of low breathing rate workout for you. With one minor exception, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. Warm-up group B, this is for those folks that have decent bar muscle ups or very good bar muscle ups where you guys are going to be moving pretty quickly through the workout. You're still going to do that aerobic piece. I wrote 5 to 10 minutes. I would actually take that out, maybe 10 to 15 minute aerobic work just to get you going real well. Same style dynamic stretching that we did with group A. And then this is where we're going to deviate just a little bit. We're going to say that you want to build to a heavy single power snatch. Don't take 25 minutes exhausting yourself on this. We just want to really fire the central nervous system up, so 5-7 minutes, something like that. Nothing crazy, but just something that's heavy for a single power snatch. And then back that down to the working weight for the workout, and then go through 2 to 3 sets. 5 power snatches. Think of this as practicing your game pace. So if you know you're going to be 3 seconds per power snatch, rep that out, count it, follow a clock, make sure you know what that pace feels like. 5 of those, hop on over to the pull-up bar, 1 to 2 bar muscle ups, rest 2 minutes, and then repeat 2 to 3 times. Again, the goal here is really just to get that heart rate elevated, especially for you guys, get that CNS firing. This group is going to be working at a much, much higher intensity than that previous group is. Some general tips for this workout, real quick. That is the end 4 warm-up pieces, so you guys can kind of take that and run with it. General tips for the workout itself. Equipment placement, please, please, please. Have your barbell right next to your pull-up bar. The last thing you want to have happen on this is you're running from one side of your gym to the other, from barbell to pull-up bar. You don't want to be chasing your stuff around, so make sure that you choose. I've got a note over here, some good bumper plates. It is going to bounce a little bit around, but just be aware and be ready for that. Don't waste any reps. What I mean by this is on the bar muscle up and the jumping chest and bar pull up, make sure that you're ready. Don't try to feed off the crowd and go before you know that your body's ready to attempt that rep. And then please, for the love of all things holy, use your legs on the snatches and the jumping chest to bar. They're giving you the opportunity to jump, so don't forget that. All right, next, keeping just with some general notes for this workout, you need to get comfortable breathing heavy. The only group that I would say is not going to fall into this is going to be that group where you can do 1 bar muscle up, you're going to have to rest a while. Do another bar muscle up, you're going to have to rest a while. We want your heart rate to be a little bit lower. For the folks that are going, good, decent bar muscle ups, you want to think about this. I've got a note down here. This is going to feel like a 2K row. So if you've done enough of those, you know what your breathing rate's going to feel like there. This is about the time frame of a 2K row. The other group is the scaled folks that can really move through those jumping chest to bars reliably, and where the power snatch is not going to be an issue. You guys need to get comfortable breathing heavy, so make sure that your warm-up does take care of a little bit of that. If you don't have jumping chest to bar pull-ups, which I put a note up here, they are not a given. We saw a lot of athletes, particularly our female athletes, maybe get 1 or 2 in their warm-up, but then all of a sudden, when placed under some fatigue, higher heart rate, mechanically maybe a few things are missing there, they were missing rep after rep after rep. So they're not a given, so keep that in the back of your mind. Don't go away feeling defeated if all of a sudden jumping chest and bar pull-ups leave you. You're not the only one, I promise you. But you've got 2 choices. One is, if you're concerned about your placement on the leaderboard, you could always just do the power snatch weight of the RX. You get your 10 points there, your 10 reps, log that score, you're good to go. The second one that we're encouraging a lot of people to do, and this could go for the RX or the other, is to do the scaled weight, attempt some jumping chest to bar pull-ups. If you're not anywhere near it, you just tell your judge, hey, that's it, I'm going to take my score of 10, and then continue moving for whatever is left of that 7 minutes, and get a good workout in, all right? And again, this can be done on the jumping chest to bar, or excuse me, the RX version as well. If you know that you have no prayer of getting a bar muscle up, you can do that as well. Some notes about the bar muscle up. Take your grip. If you normally do pull-ups here, maybe just widen it up a little bit. Don't go this wide. It's not going to do you any good. It's going to be just as hard as if you're trying to do chest to bar here. So there is kind of a fine line of how wide you want your grip. You can also supinate your grip, which instead of having palms facing away, simply means you're going to have palms facing you. And it does give you a little bit more pulling strength. You bring that bicep into play a little bit more. Give that a shot. And then this last piece is super important. Jump. Use your legs to get you up there, all right? That's why God gave them to you. Probably the most important note that I want to drill into your guys' heads, I know my gym is familiar with this, use the hook grip on this. If you saw in the announcement video, the guys were shaking their arms out a lot. This is a super grip intensive workout. You can get away with gripping the snatch a little bit lighter if you use that hook grip. So thumb around the bar, fingers on top of that thumb, use it, use it, use it. On the way down from the snatches, don't just fold over at with your low back and put all the pressure there. Lower your butt down, drop your hips as you're moving back down. You want to think about the way down needs to look pretty much like the exact same reverse of the way up. So you use the hips to pop the bar up and try to drop the hips as you go back down, so you're constantly using your legs and not just relying on your low back, which is probably going to fatigue a lot more than using the legs. Equipment kind of considerations for this one is pretty straightforward. Super grip intensive again, so make sure that you wrap your hands up, use wrist wraps, tape, gloves, whatever it is you guys are doing. Chalk up the bar, pull up bar. Don't chalk a barbell, that defeats the purpose. Don't do that. But make sure you got chalk on your hands. Good clips, if you need to, double clip the bar. I know that some of our bars, the clips have a tendency to kind of bounce away as you drop the bar. So if you know that that's the bar and plate combination you got, make sure you double clip that bar. All right, so now strategy in particular for the 2 different groups here. If you are close to bar muscle ups or you have very few of them, all right? What we're going to say is to do your snatches in a very controlled manner. Even though the weight is likely going to be very easy for you just to throw it up overhead, you want to think about possibly even doing singles on the snatches, not with like a 25-second break in between, but power snatch, drop, follow it down, power snatch. 2 good things that are happening here. 1, you're taking out that eccentric load on the way back down that's going to fatigue you for your bar muscle up attempts later. But 2, it's also going to keep your heart rate down. So we want to have a nice controlled heart rate whenever you go to make those bar muscle up attempts. And there's another thing that we teach here, basically jumping into your kip. What you need to know about this is the only thing that we're getting at here is that you really need to have a big strong arch position and keep your feet and legs together. So if your arch position, you know, when your hips are out in front of the bar, if it is real weak and you're not very far in front, so if your arch position looks kind of like this, we're saying you need to be way out in front of that bar. So really open up, get everything nice and long and tight so that you can snap back through to that hollow and pop your hips up to the bar to give you a shot of getting up and over the bar as easy as you possibly can. The other thing that I've seen, I've had a lot of my athletes from afar send me video of themselves doing kind of the classic chicken wing when they get over there. What we notice time and time again is that the feet are coming apart as they come back through into the hollow position, and a lot of times you can see them start to rotate like this. So think about trying to squeeze your knees and your ankles together, keep everything long and tight, and it'll help you be more efficient getting up and over that bar. All right, for the last group, the folks who have pretty decent or very good bar muscle ups. So you're going for a top score, or you're looking to just maximize the score that you can get, even if you're not on like the regional or games caliber level athlete. This is also for the folks that are going to be just crushing the scaled version because the jumping chest to bar is not an issue and the power snatch weight is not an issue. You want to think about this again, repeating myself, as a 2K row. Good positions. Mechanically, you want to be as sound as you possibly can. Maybe up until the last 30 seconds, you just kind of start to let it rip. But especially for the folks that are doing bar muscle ups, good mechanics are going to win out in the long haul over just trying to muscle yourself up and over the bar. If you think about 7 rounds of this workout would be 60 seconds per round. If you break it down into a good kind of measure of this, what it looks like, a bar muscle up takes about 3 seconds from the swing up and over in full lockout. And you know, a good rep of power snatches, unless you're flying like the guys did last night, or if you know you're going to just be hammering out this workout, is about 3 seconds for each of these movements. So if you break that down, if you want to go for 7 rounds or something right around there, 30 seconds on the snatches, so 10 snatches, 3 seconds each. 9 seconds on the bar muscle ups, that gives you 39 seconds. And then 10 seconds of transitions. Now that's an obscenely long amount of time between movements, but that also gives you a little bit of wiggle room. So if you in the later rounds need to start maybe breaking your snatches up, you can do that. Maybe drop at 6, take a 3-4 second break, finish it out at 4. But you need to make sure that you don't keep that transition time at 10 seconds. So decrease the time of the transition, give yourself a little bit of time in the snatches. But if you leave the 10-second transition and you add in another 5 seconds later in the workout in your snatches, you're not going to make that 7-round mark. And then you guys can just play around with the math and see what it takes, you know, to maybe get, you know, 6 rounds or 8 rounds or 9 rounds. Right now, the last time I checked, top score is right around 10 plus, coming up on 11 rounds. So if you blow out of the gates on that pace and you know that you're not a regional or a top games level competitor, slow yourself down. So this is it, guys. This is what we got, 16-3 warm-up and strategy. We had a lot of good questions last week. I'll be happy to answer them late at night tonight on our YouTube page, Facebook page. Reach out to us and let us know what you think. Good luck.